is that the state can proceed to cross-examine Mr. Kwabeni on the content of the statement that the state says it wants to use, despite the fact that there's an opposition, which is grounded on the fact that the state must prove the statement first.
Fine, no problem. That's what it is. You know, you've got your rights. You can take me on appeal. You can do whatever you want, but the ruling is a judge can change his ruling. Now, I'm saying I misdirected myself in having thought that it is about the statement. It is not about the statement. It is about the evidence encapsulated in the statement.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So my clarification, my lord, is that the court simply is overruling my objection that before the state embarks on the statement that it wants to introduce and cross-examine Mr. Kwabeni on, the court says no, that should not happen. It can go directly and cross-examine Mr. Kwabeni on the content of the statement without even,
as you say, proving the statement.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine.
That's the ruling of the court.
That's the ruling,
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, yes, sir.
Udaba ke besinalo lana ngaphambi kokuthi nje singaqala ukuthi ke kunyaka ophelile uma ke sigcina ke la enkantolo kwanesikhathi la khona ufakazi ededelwa khona ke ngoba ke inkantolo yasiba nesinqumo esenzayo ethi ke nanjengoba ke ufakazi kuneyinsolo ezanazo ke ukuthi ke kunamaphoyisa bashiwo obrigadier Gininda oconstable Maphumulo oconstable Buthelezi osergeant Mukhane osergeant Mukhula ukuthi ke ufakazi ethi ke bamshaya ke ukuthi ke wabe esethi yena ke egcineni lokho nikushoyo ke ukuthi ke kune statement engasenza noma ke esenziwa uyena ke umsolo wokuqala umnzana uSibiya thathani lokho ke bese nindlulisela ke nithi ke i statement sami mina ngizothatha nje ngokuthi ke ngisayindeke kuyashiwo ke ukuthi inkantolo lapho yase isho ke ukuthi ke labo fakazi labo abezeke bazobethula ubufakazi babo ke ngoba ke kuneyinsolo eyibhekiswe ngakubona manje ke abashushisi nabameli ke sebenza ke izethulo ke enkantolo ke mayelana nako ke lokho inkantolo ithi ke gcineni ke lana ke kuloko ebikushilo ke ngaphambilini yona inkantolo ukuthi ke lo daba lolu alukho mayelana nestatement ngoba ke kodwa kumayelana nento eshiwo uyena ufakazi umnumzana uZungu lana ukuthi ke esho yena ke ethi washo yena noma watshela amaphoyisa ukuthi lokho enithi kwashiwo uyena umuzi thatheni ke bese nidlulisela ngapha mina ngizothatha ke ngokuthi ke ngisayindeke ithi inkantolo lapho ke kulokho ke ubufakazi lobo obuphuma kuyena ufakazi ila manje ke akhulunywa ngestatement kodwa akhulunywa ngento eyakhulunywa kuyena ufakazi isiyavumela ke inkantolo ukuthi ke isungaqhubeka ke umbuso ubuzeke ngaso leso statement leso bekhulunywa ngaso ke ungaqhubeka ubuze yena ufakazi imibuzo nokuthi ke bashilo nabameli ukuthi ke okwamanje ke angeke ubufakazi bakhe umnumzana uZungu bumisweke noma buhoxisweke ukuthi kubizwe labo fakazi nalapho iyavuma ke inkantolo ukuthi cha ngaqhutshekwa ngobufakazi bakhe buqedwe ke emuva kwalokho kuzaba la khona ke inkantolo ibisiyasho ke manje ukuthi kuzokwenziwa kanjani ngalabo fakazi ngamafushane ke inkantolo yamvumela kumshushisi ukuthi angaqhubeka abuze ngaso istatement lesiyana ke ebemisela ukuthi ngaphambilini abuze ngaso.
Yay, tada! We are back with another video. Greetings from Kwambedwajik. Judge Rata admits in court that he made a mistake. That is Judge Fazile Rata saying, I made a mistake. But he chose his words very carefully. He said, I misdirected. Which means the same thing. He made an error in law. Then back the questions. How many mistakes has he made in this case that he's aware of? I suspect that someone or some other judge phoned him during recess and advised him that Mr. Mokhatleng, you made a mistake on this day, so go and change your ruling in court on the 19th of January 2026. That is why this morning afike wathi wenza iphutha wathi uyashintsha ilanto yakhe le i-ruling yakhe, but umbuzo umile mangaka amaphutha asewenzile because uma evume one surely yakhona manje this incompetence or biasness, I think it's just incompetence. I've said it long time ago, ukuthi Judge Lily alikho fit ukuba iphathe le case. He's not emotionally fit and akekho futhi intelligent enough to handle this case. You could see when Nisi requested a day off because he was going to run a complete marathon, so he needed a Monday off to recover. But this judge shouted at Nisi and said, "Is this how black lawyers behave?" That to me on its own showed me that he lacks emotional intelligence. Now it has been confirmed in court ukuthi he is also incompetent. How many times where a judge has changed his ruling? It's the first time ngiqala nqa ukubona lento le ukuthi yenzeka. Ukuthi ijaji lifike lithi hayi there's into wrong kwasha kwacima. But he continues with the case. This calls for a recusal because now he has admitted that he made an error in law. So now you ask yourself, was the acceptance of the confessions by Ntanzi and Sibiya a mistake? Was that a misdirection by a judge? I think so. But Ufakazi Lerato will not admit to that because it would have some major impact on this case. So he'll rather continue the case knowing very well that he should not have accepted the confessions. It is clear that the confessions were obtained illegally. Anyone with good emotional intelligence can see that Ntanzi and Sibiya were tortured in order to confess. Remember that Sibiya was driven around all night long, and then the confession was signed in the morning. This shows ukuthi ebusuku bonke bayamshaya yiwo assigned ekuseni because he had to save his life. A judge that has got a good intelligence would see that, but this one here does not see it. Why? Because he is not a good judge. He is a bad judge. And I think some part of it, it's not his fault. It is old age. Ukhumbule ukuthi they called him from retirement to come and preside over this case. So EJP, Dustin Mlambo, I think he has to take a blame because he's the one that appointed Judge Racha to come and preside over this case. Mlambo forgot to take into account ukuthi age matters. Once you are over 65, then your thinking capabilities becomes less and less accurate, which is why he misdirected when he said those witnesses like Gwabini, noma labo Ogininda, noma Khola should be recalled. He says he misdirected because he was not thinking clearly. That could be because of his old age. He's not sharp anymore. He's not a young man. So there I put the blame squarely on Dustin Mlambo. We've got so many judges in this country that could have presided over this Mayor case who are younger and much more intelligent. And Mlambo chose this old man. So now I think when these guys go for an appeal, they can use this admission by him, Uguti, he misdirected. They can use that on appeal, Uguti, in an open court on the 19th of July, 2026. Judge Ratamakwateng admitted that he had misdirected in interpreting law. So it is possible that he misdirected on other occasions. That is when it comes to the confession, because the confession plays the major role in this case. And you must remember that when he gave the judgment in the Section 174 discharge of accused number 4, he made several mistakes because he confused the accused. He confused accused number 4 with accused number 5. That showed to me Uguti, he is not following the case, he's not following the evidence. That could be to that could be due to old age, as I've said earlier. He's saying, he also said that in the house, when the intruders came in, he said there were 5 intruders. Show state or state witnesses. But that is not Baloyi's case. Baloyi's case is that 2 intruders entered the house and demanded cell phone. But Rashana Wati, 5 intruders, which shows with me, little judge lady, I follow which evidence. But I think the old age has to come in as a factor here, which is why I am blaming Dustin Mlambo for bringing us this mess. So we are in this mess because of Dustin Mlambo. He should not have brought a retired judge to this case. Even the family of Sezumei, do you remember during the 11th anniversary of Sezumei's passing? That was on the 26th of October 2025. So it was last year. That was the 11th year anniversary. One of the families from the Mayo family said, why did they bring an old judge? That was a good question. I think that was Sezo's aunt. Now I see with the Muzwaka why born the judge lady is not following evidence, is not smart enough to catch to be able to understand all the facts in this case, which is why he is confusing the accused. So the blame there, I think, it should go to Judge Dustin Mlambo. Dustin Mlambo is now the deputy deputy chief justice in the constitutional court. So he's the second in charge after Judge Maya. So he has left the Gauteng division, but now he left us with this mess, and now there's nothing that we can do now, because to ask Rata to recuse himself now, I think he's going to say too many witnesses have come and gone, so now it's going to be unfair to the state. That is what is he going. That's what he's going to say, because he's in favor of the state. You can see that whatever Baloyi says, he goes for it. So I do not think that he would accept to recuse himself. But the admission today that he made, he misdirected. It shows that he is not a good judge. I have never seen a judge before that comes to court and say, I have made a mistake on my ruling, so I'm reversing it now. I've never seen it before. First time seeing it with Judge Rata. But anyway, the case proceeded, continued today. It started by Baloyi introducing Ugutina as well today. He said he was going to bring his witnesses for what he thought was going to be a trial within the trial, but Rata says otherwise. Said no, he can go ahead and cross-examine Gwabini on the facts of the statement. He said he can cross-examine Gwabini because it's not about the statement, it's about the evidence that was given by Gwabini. He said Gwabini is the one said he signed the statement after he was tortured. He said that came out of Gwabini's mouth. So he said Baloyi can question him on those issues or those aspects of the case. So he did that. Baloyi started then and it was more of the same questions throughout the day. But Baloyi was trying to find inaccuracies or inconsistencies, where one example is that Gwabini, I think in the last time, he said he paid a bail Mokgane of 2,000 rand, and then today I think Gwabini made a mistake and said it was 10,000 rand. So Ubalo was quick to pounce on that because he could see Gutaibu. He's saying something different now, but I think Gwabini misspoke there. So Gobalo is just looking for those small mistakes. Okay, what you said on the other day is not the same as what you said today. So that's gonna be Baloyi's line of questioning, just to try to find more mistakes in small issues, minor issues. But it does not change the fact that Ugwabini said these 5 men before court were not at his house on the day that Senzo was shot. That is very important because he is saying it in the open court. He's saying Constable Zungu lied about the fact ukuthi wayesendlini yakhe ngo-2014, 26 October 2014. He says, yes, he was in my house, but in 2017. So that is a material contradiction ephikisa i-evidence kabani ka-Constable Zungu, which, if we're the first judge, would lead to evidence yonke kaZungu be thrown out of court because it has been proven to be a lie and unreliable. How so? Ubaba wakhe, uConstable Zungu, also say ubaba ka-Constable Zungu, of which is Absalom Zungu, came to court as well and said his son told him that he testified in court because he was promised a promotion within the SAPS. So 2 people have discredited Constable Zungu. That is what is very important that came out of those 2 witnesses. So Kwabin made a mistake about the bail money. I think it's irrelevant and will not make any changes. Let's just say the case goes on appeal. I think those judges there would realize that Kwabin just made a mistake when he spoke. I think he said 2,000 rand, yeah. And then today he spoke about 10,000 rand, which is a small material difference, which does not make anything there. It's not a big fact or anything to that extent. But anyway, the judge now he was happy to made a mistake about the bailman because Urata spoke out loud and said, no. Even myself as a judge, I write notes. I remember that Kwabini said it was 2,000 rand. So Urata being Rata, he was just being ufakazile as usual. So they were happy that Kwabini made that mistake. But that mistake, it is immaterial because it's just a small amount. So one can understand Kwabini how he could have said that because 2,000 rand, there's not much difference there. However, the important fact is that Watu Kwabini, on the day Senzo died, these guys were not at his hostel. That is very important because when this case is taken to appeal, I think those judges there at the Supreme Court of Appeal will be looking at those big facts because those can change the direction in which the case is going. Constable Zungu is lying when he says he was there in 2014. Kwabini and Absalom Zungu, I'm piggies. So I'm very happy about that. So we'll see tomorrow, okay, Baloyi, where is he going with his cross-examination? But I'm sure it's going to take about 4 or 5 days because he likes to ask the same questions about 4 or 5 times. He thinks it's going to make a difference, but you can ask the same question 10 times differently, but the answer will remain the same. That's what Musibia did when he was testifying. Remember, Musibia was in the witness box for about 15 days or 16 days, I don't remember. Musibia was asked same question differently, but Musibia was smart that he gave the same answer all the time. So Ubaloyi failed to get any concessions from Musibia. So I'm hoping that Kwabini as well is going to stick to his gun and make sure that he answers all imbuzo Kabaloyi the same way. Because Ubaloyi is going to try and trick him and ask a question differently, expecting a different answer. But Kwabini, I think, is smart. He'll be able to cope with that. But the most important thing today or yesterday is that Urata admitted that he made a mistake, which clearly indicates that he is a man that is capable of making other mistakes in this case, like accepting those confessions, as well as declining to give Section 174 discharge to accused number 4 when he applied for it. I think there he also misdirected or made a mistake, but he won't admit it because he knows that if he admits to more mistakes, it will be clear that he is an incompetent judge. But from what I've seen today, yeah, I'm very happy. People can see that this judge is not smart as some of you thought he was. He is capable of making mistakes because he's human and he's old. So I'm very happy. Guti, we had that. So now I'm hoping that he will not make mistake when it comes to evidence that may acquit this guy. For instance, the DNA evidence. Remember that Brigadier Kinenda is now saying that DNA implicates these accused, whereas the DNA expert came to court and said all accused are excluded from the DNA sample taken from the house. So I hope Rata will not make a mistake yokuthi alalele uGininda, because Gininda is not an expert. Gininda came to court and said 2% DNA for him works because it shows that there's a link. But in terms of science, DNA evidence must match like 99.99%, not about 2%. So I hope Rata will not make a mistake when it comes to those facts that includes DNA gun issue. You see, a gun issue, remember that Mangena, when he went to collect the gun from Cleveland police station, he said he found the gun on an open bag. I'm hoping that Rata does not forget that, because that fact is very important. He found the gun on an open bag. That means that the gun was laying on the floor and it could have had its barrel changed by someone there. So if you found a gun in an open bag, clearly it is a compromised exhibit and the court cannot rely on that evidence. So I'm hoping that Rata remembers that. Any evidence that was related to this gun cannot be taken seriously because the gun was found in an open bag. So the gun was a compromised exhibit. And you must also remember that Umasondo came to court and said they tested the gun Kakala Mncube in February 2015 and it did not match to the bullets that shot Sezumile. That was Masondo saying in 2015, when the tests were done initially, the gun did not match. So it shows what later on it matched because there was cooking when Abu Gininda arrived. So that is when the gun matched. It was when the cooking began. So I hope Rata realized that the evidence there was cooked, and he makes notes of that because he says he is always writing. I hope he remembers that. And then you must also remember that the witnesses in the house said the gun that shot Sezumile had a will, meaning it was a revolver, not the 9mm that was tested by Umangena. So those are the facts that I hope that he will not make a mistake, because those facts are crucial in the way the case move forward. A gun is a smoking gun. It is a murder weapon that has to be matched accurately. So in this case, it was a compromised exhibit. So Gadla Mncube's gun is not the gun that shot Sezumile, because witnesses in the house said it had a will, and Umangena tested the 9mm and a will. So state witnesses are contradicting themselves. So we shall see what goes on, but I'm hoping that Rata admits to more mistakes. And then some of you all who think the state charged the right people will then finally see what the accused are innocent. Thank you for watching.